But what is our objective today? Uh, we have to make sure that refugees and displaced come back home, no matter where they look for a refuge, they and shelter. We have to keep them interested and capable of coming back to Ukraine. We can create a historic precedent. In the earlier days, when the aggressor was fighting against other countries, he was thinking that the Ukraine's back will be broken. But we have proven that it is not possible to break Ukraine. This is why it's a key moment for Ukrainians to come back, possibility to come, because Ukraine, because Europe is going through one of the largest migration crises because of war in Ukraine. During several months only, 12 million people have left their homes. What was the last time this happened in the past? The only thing I can remember is the Second World War, and that was a deliberate act. 500,000 in Mariupol, 100,000 in Severodonetsk, 22,000 in Volnovakha. This is the population of those cities, but Russia destroyed everything there with artillery, with aviation and missiles. They didn't really were discreet in doing this. So, and I can name thousands, hundreds of places that were destroyed and dozens that are still under threat. Now Russia is trying to pull back their forces, to organize their forces to occupy Kharkiv. We have deoccupied already, and they want to come back again, and that's 1.5 million citizen city. They keep bombarding the city of Mykolaiv, and there's almost 500,000 citizen city. They want to occupy Slavyansk, and it was 100,000 city before the war. Of course, we will do our best to stop the occupiers and to protect the people, but to do it faster, we need your support. We need modern weaponry, weaponry that would have better capability than the Russian weapons. And this is why I'm using so many emotions and times and efforts to convince all of our partners to transfer to us powerful pieces of weaponry. This is the matter of life and death. And the second question is economy. While Russian missiles are hitting our cities, it is not possible to have a normal economic life. Almost half of our economy, our economic system is not operational now. Just imagine what would it mean if half of the Italian economy would be blocked? In particular, your industrial elements. None of your countries would be able to stand against this without the support. When we are saying that we need about $5 billion a month to fill the deficit gap, it's not about money. It's about the number of Ukrainians who would be able to continue living during these times in Ukraine. And the third item is rebuilding. We have to do everything possible so that after the victory, which will come undoubtedly, we could restore normal livelihoods in the areas where Russian occupiers were trying to leave only ruins behind. And this life should be so up-to-date and so safe that it would also hit the aggressor back. Not just sanctions, not just physical losses of Russian army in the battlefield, but the fact that life will be restored in Ukraine. The livelihood would be a priority. The fact that we can come back from ashes and the aggressor will be left with losses and degradation. Our goal is for this migration crisis in Europe, caused by the Russian war, of course, and only by Russian war, would become the last crisis of its sort, so that no any other aggressor in future could think that by using war instruments he could destroy the life of any European countries. So the weaponry, the financial support, and the rebuilding of Ukraine are three elements that have to trigger the change. But this is not all we need to do. Russian war against us have triggered also a global food crisis. And unless we stop this, 12 million displaced people will be just a drop in the sea when new migration processes will start. I just addressed the representatives of the African Union before this, and I was emphasizing the food security. Ukraine can supply enough food products to satisfy the critical demands for countries in Africa, Asia, Latin America. Without our experts, there's a global deficit, and that could lead to political, economical, migration chaos. And it is only this year that we have to do everything to make sure that the next year we won't need to discuss on this day of refugees the fate of many more millions of refugees in the countries that in Europe and that border with Europe. Today, the decisions of European politicians determine the future of many countries, whether we will have peace in Ukraine or not, and whether we will be addressing these challenges that we have talked today about. And I do want you to be very active. I'm very grateful to Italy for your principal position, but we do even more for Ukraine to win. I would like to repeat, weapon, financial support, and rebuilding of Ukraine are three elements that can make a difference globally. Thank you for your attention. Slava Ukraini.